I'd rather go after because we've got a time slot. Tell them what we did.
They're actually cheaper, but
Are they?
yeah.
We've got these from Nottingham Castle,
And it's a
and they sell them here. It's a pencil sharpener as well.
But yeah, I've washed my hands and I'm going to do that again now.
It's a real van.
I don't think it's real.
It's got wheels off the floor.
It's not real.
Albert Baldwin Sea. The pavilion. Or it's called a bandstand. Do
We get that from archery.
you know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
Remember a few years ago I went to Thorpe Park and we said they had loads of benches around the teacup ride? If you look around here, there's loads of them, which isn't a bad thing. But I think they got Thorpe Park beat.
Paper Beats Rock.
Do you want to explain the map? They've done something really cool with this.
So basically it says you're looking...
Drawn it in 2D.
Yeah.
Never seen that for a while.
Do you want me to tell you about the map?
Just do what you did before.
So basically it's what you see here. So where those trees are, that building is hiding behind those trees there. So it's basically as you see it, like from opposite the road, from the actual entrance and stuff, because the entrance is there. But we're kind of like here, because that tunnel is that one. And number 4 is...
Well, I know that is the entrance,
bandstand,
which is over there.
The bandstand, the beautiful bandstand is over yonder, behind you, that way. So obviously, yeah, it's pretty much
It's just weird that
straightforward.
they've drawn it in 2D. It's different.
It's
Well,
nice.
that bit's got depth though.
And the bit where we've gone to the tent, put that bit.
This animal was once holding a cup of tea. Make a cool pose. You know when you feel like a tourist and you're like,
Yes.
going, this is the closest city we live to,
Yeah.
but you feel like
The weirdest.
it's weird, isn't it?
I think what I find weird is that I go past it nearly every day, and I have never really been.
It's the Central Park of Nottingham.
And I was born in Nottinghamshire, so that makes it even worse. So it's like I've never been.
I was born in Cambridgeshire. We're both born in shires.
Yeah. I wonder if you've got a castle near.
Isn't it weird, the paranormal?
The castle that we went to, which Richard was it?
What,
From the last
Carnarvon?
video. Yes. Anybody know? Put it in the comments.
I know
'cause
about
can't
Prince
remember.
Charles. He got coronated there.
Yeah.
We stood on the
And
platform.
there's Richard III here, so I'm trying to remember which Richard was in Carnarvon. Absolutely crazy here.
You do know we've got an archery show at 11 o'clock down the bottom, don't you?
At 11, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
So we're kind of like meandering a bit.
So, glad to see that in the hot sun you've layered up.
Yeah, I've got a bad neck.
Well, it wasn't so hot where we came from.
Actually, in the hot sun, you're dressed wrong.
Oh no, my arms are going to get...
You've got bare flesh showing, so you'll get burnt from the sun. And 2, the more layers you put on, the more you trap body temperature close to your body. And that's why the Arabs wear layers and layers and layers in the desert. And that's why I wear layers and layers and layers, and I'm cooler than you.
I'm going to say, how many layers have
And not
you
just
got?
in temperature.
I was going to say the swords and stuff. Yeah, definitely.
I bet you get hot with like the leather on and stuff though.
No.
You get hot now. I always wanted to know.
I'm really cool because of the white. So.
Yeah, the white, isn't it? Yeah.
No, being noble, only people with brown skin worked outside. So we covered up completely to prevent it. you know, the whiter you were, the more notable you were.
Or didn't they put like stuff
Yeah.
on their skin?
Oh, that was later on.
Oh.
That was a lot later on.
Yeah.
Wasn't it more back then? If it's like the opposite now. Like if you were, I don't know the right term for it without being offensive, but if you were fatter, you were kind of more,
Rich.
yeah, stuff like that.
Well-fed, rich, yeah, like Henry VIII kind of style.
Yeah.
Or is that
if
after
you
the time?
had more meat stock on you,
Hmm.
or yes, you went blubby, then you had to be able to afford
The
decent
food, yeah.
And if you were a lot thinner, it's like this lot here. If you look at the food that they're preparing,
Yeah.
Hmm.
if I wasn't here, there'd be no meat.
Yeah.
But because they're my retinue, I've made sure that they've got good vegetables and things like that, and other things, because some of the sweetmeats and stuff that they make are amazing, absolutely amazing. But as I'm here, we will actually have meat in the pottage,
Yeah.
because pottage wasn't just like very weak onion stew. Yeah, it was anything you cooked in a pot.
Yeah. Anything on the road
So
as well.
yeah, anything at all. Weren't called Gothic. It was actually black letter, and there was only about 24 letters in it. So she had to make her own pen, which was cut from the quill, the swan, hence the word pen. And she had to make her own inks using eggs and charcoal and stuff like that. Now, they decided that they were going to get me to sit on a horse and do a proclamation. And it was great, because I'm sat on this horse and he's being dead lazy, he's got his ears all flopped, got a horse behind me, got the director, the camera and the sound guy. And they said, we couldn't get you a throat mic, so we're going to do it on a boom mic. And we sat there and the director goes, actors, ready? Camera, rolling, sound. Hang on, he said, I can hear an aeroplane. And we're all looking up in the sky. We couldn't see a thing. We couldn't hear a thing. But he was picking it up on the boom mic. And he went, okay, it's gone. She went, okay, actors, ready. Camera, rolling. Sound, ready. Action. My lords! And the sound man just grabbed his cans, threw them on the floor and held his ears. And he went, I think we'll do that without the boom mic. Well, I'm not. You see, because in this country, we get heat wrong. We see the sun, the first thing we do is take off all our clothes and get as much flesh showing as possible. Now in my day, we knew that if you got skin problems, you could die early. So the more noble you were, the more you covered up. If you had a suntan, you're a pauper, you're a peasant. I'm not looking too much at you, okay? So, we would actually layer up. Now the whole point of layering up, if you ask the Arabs in the desert, is that the heat heats up the air trapped in the outer layer. Why ever pay for it?
Never, my lord.
Right,
He pays you what you're worth then.
Okay, right, so, to begin with, they're going to loose, and I use the word loose. You cannot fire a bow. If you fire a bow, you end up with a pile of ash. The word fire did not come in until we actually started using black powder. And they used the word fire to apply the fire to the powder. When we shoot and we loose, because we're letting loose the arrow. Okay? You may practice. Right. So, are we not having any ladies on the line this morning? They're all cooking. Right, they're all cooking. So, as we carry on, we're going to talk to you about the bow and its many, many uses. Not just that in war. Even though most of my archers here are archers, I do have one knight. You are knight, aren't you? Yes. So he will not be pulling a war bow. Right, you're doing the crossbow. Yeah. Okay. Last arrow. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you may have heard the adage that if you give a man a fish, he can feed himself for one day. But if you give him the means to catch fish, he can feed himself for life. So you give him a stick, and you give him a string, he sticks it on the end, and he can now go fishing. But then if he ties it onto the other end, and finds another stick, he can now go hunting. Now, a lot of these bows, you'll see, are different colours. That is totally authentic, they are laminated. This one is designed to look like the natural lamination of a yew bow, which is hard in the belly and soft on the back. The back gives it its bend, the belly gives it its strength, as a real yew bow. Okay? So, yew is a natural laminate, because it's hard in the middle, soft on the outside, opposite of an armadillo. To replicate that, they actually put 2, sometimes 3 bits of wood together and laminated them. Now, let's talk about accuracy and shooting together.
Together, my lord.
Together at the same time.
At the same time, my
At the
lord.
same time. Right, and the words are knock, which is when you put the arrow on the string, you're knocking it. Mark means that you raise your bow, select your target. Draw means put it all the way back and loose. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do that in unison. And what we want is them all to shoot at the same time. So, knock, mark, draw, loose. Take over somebody. Now, imagine this. We went to Agincourt. We were diseased, we were tired, we were hungry, we were falling apart. We only had 4 million arrows, which in my day was not a lot. It lasted 1 hour. The archers left the line to collect the arrows that weren't damaged. What we want... Yay!
Falling down. Hey.
Now imagine this. We had 5,000 archers. 5,000 archers shooting at the same time. Now, over a very, very long distance, even our armour-piercing bodkins are not going to penetrate the armour. That has to be really close. So what we're doing is we're trying to find the soft spots, and we're trying to hurt the horse. Yeah, I know, but it's my day now, not your day. That horse is nastier and meaner than the man on it. And I'll talk to you about that later. Horses were horrible at war. Okay, so, Agincourt, we can have 5,000 arrows in the sky at once. So if you go to Oxford Street, Christmas in London, and you stand at one end and you shoot an arrow into the sky, are you going to miss? No, because there's so many people there, you're going to hit something. Now, the other thing they had to be able to do to pass muster was to loose 10 arrows into paternosters. Can you take the bow off me, please? Right, do you know what a paternoster is? I think
They don't know, my lord.
I'm sure you know what a paternoster is. Okay, if you're willing, please, hands together. Repeat after me. Our Father, which art in heaven. Carry on. So you do know what a paternoster is. Now that lasts in about your time, about 30 seconds. So in 2 paternosters, which is about your minute, has anybody got a way of telling a minute? Yeah? Come in. Come in. Oh yeah, I have.
That's not what.
Daddy.
That's not one of them. That's one of those funny things.
Talkie boxes.
Talkie box.
Stay back, stay back, stay back. Because normally now I'd take that off him.
Go for the
Charging
timer.
through
Go
back.
for the timer.
But I'm not allowed to touch it, okay?
Not the clock.
You are now in charge.
Yeah.
So when you're ready, you're going to tell them to mark, draw, and when you say loose, they're going to let loose, and you're going to push the starter, yeah? And then, in a minute, 50 seconds, we're going to count down, 10, 9, 8. Okay? Are you ready? Knock. Shout. Knock.
Knock.
To them.
Knock.
Mark.
Mark.
Draw.
Draw. Loop.
Hit the timer. Right. So, the idea of being able to lose 10 in 2 paternosters was that as you shot your first arrow, you knocked the second, you loosed it. You knocked your third. As the first arrow is entering into the enemy, your second is at the apex, and your third is leaving the bow.
Hit the apex.
That Frenchman, what was his name? Yeah, begins with F. He actually said, at the field of Agincourt, the sky turned black with the English arrows. This was like a medieval machine gun. You've got 5,000 archers with 15,000 arrows in the sky at once. That's why the sky turned black. It was just a hail of wood and iron. And stop! Pass! What happened to the 50 seconds bit? Lot to learn. Lot to... Go. Give him a round of applause. There was a funnel of trees coming in, and all the French were lined up on the top. The problem was their marshal, their constable, had been raised from the ranks. He was noble, but not very noble. So all the real nobility ignored him completely. That's why the French lost. Henry saw he was open, saw that the trees formed a funnel. He moved his archers and his lines into the end of that funnel. They couldn't be outflanked. The archers picked up their stakes, moved forward, stuck them back in, and then just started taking some ranging shots. That's all they were doing. Well, the French knights then got upset. So the constable said, men at arms, the foot ones, go forward, and crossbowmen, off you go. But the knights on horse, about a third of them, because the rest were off being pastured, weren't having that. Horrible English peasants trying to kill us. How dare they? So they just got on and charged. And that was when it was loose. How many did you shoot?
As required, my lord.
How many?
10, my lord.
Show me on your hand. Oh, yeah, good. Literally. As little as possible. That's why he stayed alive so long. He's
Don't hold me up.
really old for our time.
10's 10, isn't it?
How many did you shoot?
15.
15.
Works
I
hard.
like that bow. Right, he shot 15, but it's only on a 60-pound bow. That is still heavy. And I challenge a load of you to try and pull it. But it's not a war bow. So 15 is probably using that for hunting. How many did you shoot?
12 mil old.
12. Lovely, and that is a war bow. It has a completely different drawing technique to the modern day. Okay? Later on you will see it and we will talk about it. So, they've passed muster. Give them a round of applause.
Yay.
It's been 2 years since I've done this.
Right. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that the French knights came charging down. What they did was they charged over their own men. And they literally charged over the crossbowmen. The Genoese crossbowmen, mercenaries. 2 of them. Bit like a sniper team now. Sniper, spotter. Only they had crossbowmen and a barn door carrier. They called it a pavise, but it was like a barn door. So they would stand behind it, load up, pop out and shoot. Then they'd have to go back, crank it all up, come out and, well actually we can demonstrate. We haven't got a barn door for him, but we have got a crossbow. I need an archer with 6 arrows. Take the line. We're going to try now. I know Mikey is good. He's also young, so he's going to try and show off. But I want to see how many he can do, bolt-wise, to 6 from our archer. Okay? Knock. Mark.
I don't want to block everyone else.
Draw. Move. Now, already he's bending down. He's cranking that up. That's mine or yours. That's a 120-pound draw weight. That is a lot to pull up. It's very, very powerful. It's also very, very expensive. I think the most you can do by handspan is 100. But that one doesn't count. That one doesn't count.
saying fast.
Okay. After that, they got the goat's foot, collect. And after that, they actually had a wingless system to crank those strings back. That was one that killed Richard the Lionheart so far away from the castle. Okay? So, how many did you shoot in the end?
3, my lord.
3. Now, 3, that's pretty good against a person who did 15 arrows in a minute. Give him a round of applause.
Hey.
Now, as you see here, this wonderful countryside, there's a gentleman here called Robin Hood. Now, don't you? You're not. Okay? But in Switzerland, they had a different hero. He was called William Tell. Now, how many of you kids have, you know about William Tell? Do you know about William Tell? Oh, your name's William. Right, okay, so, of course, every country's got a valley.
William Tell, the one with the Puss in Boots who went to London.
Gessler. Gessler was such a horrible man that when he was in town, you had to bow to him. But he was so bad that he actually hung his hat on a pole, and if he wasn't in town, you had to bow to his hat. It's no joke. William Tell would not do it. So they put him in prison. And prison in those days is nothing like prison now. There's no mob cons, there's no telly, there's no 3 square meals a day. I'm not saying they get it easy, because I wouldn't want to go. But back in those days, you were just chucked in a cell. If you had money, people could bring you food. If you didn't have money, you'd starve, get disease. And they didn't let you out until you paid to get out. Now, Gessler had heard that William Tell was a crossbowman. Yay! You can teach any idiot to shoot crossbow, but William Tell was good at it. He said, I hear you can hit an apple with a crossbow. Have we got an apple? Have we
Oh,
got
that's
an
going to be
apple?
dangerous.
Yes, yes, lovely. Right, I've got an idiot, sorry, I've got a crossbowman, I've got an apple. So William Tell said, yeah, of course I can hit an apple. He said, yeah, but that'll be no fun. He said, can you hit an apple off your son's head? William?
It's going to be interesting.
Can we borrow William? Do you want to try this? No? Is there anybody out there who would like to have an apple shot off their head? Come on then.
Not me.
No one. Oh no. Oh.
I told you, girls are braver than boys. Yeah, right. Okay. Social distancing, under you come. Okay. Right. Yeah. Right. What's your name? Tia. Right, Tia, come here. No, actually, come down.
This isn't happening, is it?
Get away from those
I
old
think it is.
Right, turn and face your public. Take a bow. Take a bow. Ladies and gentlemen, Tia.
Hey.
Apple. Stand here.
Oh, you're brave.
Okay, right. I'm going to put this apple. Nose on wearing a glove.
My lord, remember what happened last time?
Oh, yeah. I said loose. They ducked. He aimed down and it went wrong. So you don't duck, turn around. Turn around. Don't look at him. He's ugly enough as it is. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Tia. I have an apple. And I have a crossbowman.
And we all have faith. We need a couple of
Now,
paternosters.
you,
Yes.
I'm going to hit the apple. If you hit the child, is she insured? No. You should have done that before you come. Right, okay. You hit my finger, you know what's coming.
What about the rest of you, my lord?
Okay, right. Mark. Draw. Loose. Oh my God.
Hey.
Right. How we got it in the top of the apple, I don't know.
It gets better.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Tia.
Hey.
Right, okay, ladies and gents, balloons. We like to have a bit of fun now. Now normally, we go down the local abattoir and we get pig's bladders. Pig's bladders are really tough. Tie off both ends, you can blow them up and you can kick them with your feet. And we normally have a competition between a village and a village. It gets a bit rough, but it's whoever can get the pig's bladder into a goal in the other village. And it's fun. I hear you've got the same now, but when they actually have the hard bit, they cry. Yeah. Okay. So, but we're not allowed to use pig's bladders here. So we got these fancy coloured, whatever they are. Ballon? Balloon. Right. Okay. So the wonderful thing about balloons is it looks dead easy to hit, but they've got a mind of their own. They see an arrow coming at them, they use the wind to move out the way. If you don't hit it square on, it actually can bounce off, believe it or not. Okay, mark, draw, move. Wait for it, John.
That was on the inside though.
Now, don't wait for the cross moment. Just get. Oh, we got one. Two. Only standing. Right. Do you think they made that look too easy?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have I got a volunteer? Take the camera.
No, I'm alright.
No, you sure?
Yeah.
Is there anybody want to have a go under instruction? It's got to be a big kid this time, fair. Some of it, you haven't got a big kid. No.
Could have been you.
You're a little kid.
I go through that much stuff
Oh,
when I go to
a
dungeons.
big kid like me.
Travis.
Any of you? Come on in.
Hey! Look at my dirt, jeez. Oh, falling over again.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a day's wages if he can hit that balloon with 3 arrows.
I literally would not have done it.
Right, that's 4 pence. Yeah, an archer, unmounted, gets 4 pence a day. If he's got a horse and he's a mounted archer, he gets 6 pence a day. Okay, so he's looking at 4 pence is a lot of money. I don't even pay my men at arms 4 pence a day. They get about 2 or 3 if they're lucky. So, have we got William? No, he's not. He's been ill. Oh, so we're just doing this. Yeah.
It's good, but when the string twings back, it hurts.
Has he done it yet? No. Come on, I'm getting more. I can have a drink of water. I didn't have time. Right,
What's that?
he's still going. Notice that when he's drawing, his front arm is out extended and he's pulling. I think he's teaching him an archer's draw to the ear. But in modern bows, you actually kiss the string. Okay? You knock to here. But that's because the bows are so light. That, if you've ever seen programs with archers on, saying this is how it's done, and they start wiggling and dancing and letting go then, that's wrong as well.
My lord,
Did
he
he
didn't
do
do
it?
it, my lord.
Right. Go to the armoury, we'll find you a lump of chainmail and a stick with a bit of metal on the end. That will be good for you. And nothing-
Hey!
shooting is to actually step into the bow. So you start with the string at your ear and you're upright. And instead of pulling, you step and pull. That is the correct way. That way you can line up, you can mark your enemy, and you can push into it. And that's why you see him dip every catch it, catch it, catch it, go, go, go! Right. We haven't got William with us at the moment. We will have tomorrow. William is our stuffed teddy bear. We acquired him at one of the battles. I think the other people are still looking for him. And we've dressed him in mail. But he's a bit unstuffed because these bodkins will go through mail so easily. What we're showing you now is a steel-clad plywood shield. That steel, when it's on me, has got padding behind it, so the armour-piercing arrow will go all the way through. Because it's got plywood behind it, we designed it that way so it absorbs the impact, but still sticks in the steel. When you're ready, you may loose. Now look at the size of the bows they're pulling. I don't want worms in the potty. Because I've got venison, I think. Okay, let's get them right into that shield.
You okay?
There you go. Did you see that? That's the crouch method. What weight is that bow?
That one's only an 80.
That's an 80. A war bow is £100 upwards. So,
120, my lord.
120. Did you all see the way Paul was stepping in and pushing? Do you want to do one more? Right? Okay, the way to pull a heavy bow.
Well, one of the ways.
One of the ways. Now, do you see the bow doesn't really go anywhere except forward? So you're not hitting anybody by your side, and you're not wiggling, and you're using up everything else. Okay? You taking the shield round, or do you want somebody else to? Even with the plywood on, those bodkins are still coming through. Okay?
I didn't want to
And
finish
if
it.
you don't believe us, you can come and look at that steel on that shield. Okay, that's off an old BMW, I think, when they made them heavy. That's a good bit of steel. Right. Competition time, I believe. Now, as I said before, a crossbow. You can teach any idiot to shoot crossbow. We've proved that. Oh, he's not listening. Okay, right. But a longbow, yeah, takes 5 minutes to learn and a lifetime to master. And you have good days and you have bad days. So when we have a competition, it's not always the same person winning. Okay? And we are going to, are we ready? Yeah. You shooting in this? You can't get the arrow out the shield.
Imagine if that was in your body through your armour.
Are you doing
The physician
crossbow?
is going, it'll be out in a minute.
I won't do shot
And
crossbow
that's
in the
not
park.
bad.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
got it.
Worse than bad.
So, we're going to pick targets, and they're slowly going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, unfortunately, Nottingham hasn't got a very big archery field for us. Otherwise, we'd have a replica castle wall in the middle with the slits and the man behind it. That's fun. Right, okay. I want the white knight anywhere on the target. Let's see if you can hit a pavise. That's the barn door held by the crossbowman. Anywhere on the target.
Are they over there, my lord?
They're over there.
All right.
Yeah, to your right, those to the left are public. You got your glasses on, Dave? No.
My eyes aren't in my
My lord, if you hit it with your first arrow, you don't need to
You
take
don't
the
get
second.
the second arrow. They get 2 chances. First arrow, they don't have to. Right, blue knight. Anywhere on the knight,
Not the blue.
but not the weapon.
Not the
I
blue.
want them. That'll do. That'll do. Done with that coding. Mine's broken.
You know, I'm much further living
Yeah, right, okay. Let's get smaller, shall we? White knight. Anywhere on the knight, on his right arm or above. So they can hit the right arm or anywhere above, but it has to be on the knight.
Right arm.
Yes, his right arm is at the bottom of the backlands. Okay, so I want you to hit the top of the right arm. There, that'll do. Yeah. Yeah.
In a line, that hits.
Okay. Blue knight. Anywhere on the male coif and helmet. You can get his face up and get his face. Oh, no, that's his ear roll.
Well, it's his head.
Got his face. It's his ear roll.
I thought you got his eye.
Okay. Yeah, are you all still in?
shockingly.
Okay, you getting bored? Yeah, yeah, alright. First one to get that balloon. Go!
Hey!
And he's not wearing his glasses!
Hey!
Days of it. Right, have you got whistles?
Yes.
Yeah, you got the whistler?
No.
No?
No, it's up there.
Okay.
This is the bit where we're walking, this street here. We crossed the canal, which is there, with our friends, and then we walked this bit. That's last time when we came here. That was quite a while ago. It's nice, it's pretty.
That flag and that flag were at Nottingham Castle in our last video. Is that the no, it looks like that uniform bit, the unnamed warrior, whatever it was.
Yeah, who knows, warrior.
It's very similar.
No,
I know it's not the same.
It's not the same. Carry me every day. I do carry that with me every day.
Just carry the 30.
This will probably be what I carry in my car. I've got to have some Harry likes.
Oh, I guess I can lift it. I've just lifted it this way. That's 10 and 30. That's 40 kilos, sir.
It's what's in there that spooks me.
You build it up now. What is? Oh, it's another ram thing, isn't it? This is very similar to Carnarvon. Okay. So we're in a goat in Carnarvon. And now we've got a ram in Derbyshire. Well, it's not in Derbyshire, is it? We're in Nottingham now.
Yeah, the other one just ended up walking all the time. Peacekeeping duties. I
Whilst in Cyprus, they captured a ram, Private Bravo, which meant Private Diary received a UN medal.
Are you bored yet? I am. Right. Every part of the sword is used. This is a hand and a half, and I can use it like a single-handed weapon. It's slower when I use it as a single hand because it's heavier. But every part of this weapon is used. It is held in a swordsman's grip, which is not a grip. You literally just balance it in between the thumb and the finger, and it goes back to there and down to there, and it comes round the back of the wrist. Okay? Feel the weight of that sword. Do not touch the neck. Yeah. Okay? Open your hand. No, don't grip it. Don't grip it. Don't, no, that's wrong. Hold it there. Now hold it. Now control it. It's hard, isn't it? Yeah? Forefinger, middle finger, third finger. If I take hold of it there, like you were going to do, it's a club. You actually hold it on the pommel. Because now, the top hand rides and the bottom hand gives it both speed and power. Because he won't see it coming. See that? He won't see it coming. Because of the way it's like using a canoe paddle. You don't pull, you push. Okay? So it's all done here. Now, I can, using that technique, go for his head and watch what happens. Yay, that ruined his day, didn't it? That is how quick this weapon is. It's not a club. Okay? So, I'm going for his shoulder. And I've hit him on that side. Because I'm controlling it here. Okay? That is where it all is. If I'm fighting for a long time, then I'm no good. And naughty. Okay?
The person didn't want to throw them away, so what they did, they had them sorted and we bought them off them. So they're not wasted. This is an archery.
Every part of this can be used.
And this is a little fidget.
So, he's going to go for a headshot. Look at that.
A ferret.
Trapped him with the quillen. Dead easy.
So yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they were
Got it.
loved,
Right?
they were looked after, and
Okay.
as you can see, we're using them. So it's not gone to
And
waste.
all I did was trap it, spin him out, and take him out.
Yeah. And to clean these, I've put them in the freezer.
Go again.
Kills off anything.
Take that down. And
Yeah.
notice I didn't hit the helmet.
But no, they were
Notice I
looked
stopped.
after. They weren't hunted
Are
or
you
anything.
glad? That is what is called giving
And
somebody
this
a
one
good
had,
pummeling. That is the
this one
pommel.
was actually
And when you
out,
beat
there
somebody
was
up and
something
smash
wrong
them,
with the front legs or
you
something.
give them a
One, I
good
don't know what leg it was,
I'll do
but
that
it
slowly
couldn't walk
for
properly
you.
and it couldn't hunt.
Attack,
So they kept it
in,
pet. It
bring
did
him
have a
down,
very big yard that it
take
ran
him
in.
out.
It was given chickens, it had to kill its own
Okay.
food. But
Right, headshot again.
rather it died, no, it couldn't actually
Straight in.
So it's a good life. It lived to about 12 years old.
Use them.
So yeah.
I can actually take him through the visor, up under the neck, and
Rather than it to be wasted,
ready?
several
Go. down.
Walk your main one. Go,
Take
yeah.
him there. I can bring him forward. I can hook him in and put him down. He's an expensive armour. I don't want to kill it. I don't want to ruin the armour. If I take a prisoner, this is mine. So I would actually hook him, bring him through the line, slide him behind him, sit on him, he's now my prisoner. Okay, every part of the weapon will be used. Who can normally take
Smaller than a guinea pig.
I know, that's what I thought.
It's like,
Smaller than a guinea. We've got guinea pigs. They're bigger than that.
But it's like I'm just an animal person. I say, is it a tawny one or have I got that wrong? Is it a tawny one? Is it a tawny owl or have I got
That's
that
a little owl.
wrong? Little one, just little.
Yeah. That's a tawny.
So the tawny one's that one, yeah.
The tawny is the only nocturnal one we've got.
Yeah,
The rest of them are daytime. Tell by the eyes.
yeah. But was it like oranges?
Eh?
Like oranges like in the day, isn't it? And yellow's the night one, or is it the other way? around?
Yellow's there
Yellow.
for the day.
Yeah.
Or just more at night.
Yeah.
And obviously the falcons are daytime only anyway.
First of all, you learn to rest before you learn to use any of these. If you don't know how the body works, you'll never be proficient.
Like, it's true. Can't.
She's 7 years old, but in the wild she'd be dead now.
Oh,
Most probably
would
be
she?
dead now, yeah. We've only got hot
Use our bows.
Tawny one's in the middle
They're
then.
expensive.
We've got I don't know what type it is, but there's one
Go
that's a
to
farmer.
Payson to the Isle of Angleton.
yeah, that can work.
Went up to right up past the lakes into Cumbria for the
That's why we've got
now.
the bigger end. So you come in behind it
Driving.
and you turn.
We might get 2 birds in one weekend, but
Been down once
I
already
was on the
today.
guys' list for 18.
Hand on here. My friends that got married in Scotland ended up having one of those sort of barrels, and they filled it up with whatever drink that the guests were having, and they'd mix it all in, and then it'd be passed around as like a final like toast for everyone. It was a bit strange. I don't know if it's some kind of tradition or something. I don't know, but it's there.
A call to England's archers to stand and hold their bows. The archers took a pace forward and gazed into the opening space. To the ear their bows the string they bring. At once 10,000 arrows sing, 10,000 arrows fly. Ladies and gentlemen, the longbow.
Hey.
Gentlemen, come forward. Turn and face.
Oh, that way.
Yeah, that way. Ladies and gentlemen, line up. I give you the Wolf's Head Bowman.
Hey.
This afternoon we have another show. Hopefully we'll actually get some ladies on the line because they won't be cooking my dinner. Yes, we are misogynistic. It goes with the time. Okay? And 12 o'clock they're arming me in my armour, and at 12:30 we're doing proper combat display, which is real fighting using techniques, not Hollywood show stuff. Okay?
20 minutes, yeah.
So, I thank you very much indeed. Enjoy your stay at Nottingham Castle, and I hope to see you later.
Hey.
Thank you.